How's it going, everybody? Well, I'm out here working on my boat, and if you've been following this series, you know I'm working on an old tractor boat. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Go back and look and see all the stuff I've been doing to this boat. Well, I was out here and I was getting ready to make the final trim that goes across the transom. And on most of these older boats, these pieces of trim are destroyed for the most part. Luckily, the one I have isn't in horrible shape. It had a lot of holes in it. And I got out here and I was welding all the holes up, and I started thinking, well, maybe other people have got the same issue. So I'm going to show you what I do to get this thing ready. Now, I will say this ahead of time. A lot of times before I got a TIG welder, what I would do with the holes was I would just grind them out nice and clean, and I'd use them for screw holes. I know that's sort of cheating, but that's what I would do, and it kind of made for a weird random holes running everywhere. So on this one, I decided to TIG them up. What I've got is I've got a prime weld 225 TIG welder. I'm not a TIG welder. Let me say that way ahead of time. I can use a stick, I can use a regular MIG welder. I'm not very good with TIG, so I never invested in one. I finally decided I was going to invest in one, and this is the one I invested in because I heard it was user-friendly. I'm a little bit older, so it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, but believe it or not, I can do okay with it. I'm still not great because I don't use it a lot, but when I was practicing with it, I actually got pretty good with it. But now, I'm a little shaky still, but for stuff like this, you don't have to be great. You just got to be average. So, what I done, I'm going to put it up here where you can see it. What I have is I had a lot of corrosion here, just pitting. Holes that would eat almost all the way through where you can see them starting to break the surface. So what you do first, anytime you're welding something, you can't have contaminants. It don't matter what kind of welding you're doing. Any type of contaminants is deadly to a weld. It causes it to blow up. It causes you to start chasing the weld as it starts falling apart. All those contaminants, when that heat hits them, they start popping and exploding. And aluminum's such a soft material, what'll happen a lot of times, when it pops, it'll bust the parent material out, and then the hole gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So what you gotta do is clean the backside first, where the hole is. I cleaned it up nice and good right there. I still gotta do a little bit more cleaning right here, but I'll get to it in a minute. Get the backside of the holes cleaned, clean the surface. After you get the surface clean, what I do, I take a drill. I know it sounds crazy making the hole bigger, but by drilling the hole out, what it does is it gives you good clean material all the way around the inside of the hole, and that's what you want. So now I know that's good and clean, so when that heat hits it and it starts melting, what happened is that it'll give you a good bond, and you don't have to sit there and blow your whole piece of metal apart trying to get it, or heat the whole thing up red hot trying to get it. Should be a pretty quick weld. All right, I've got it drilled out. Let me go ahead and do the final cleaning on it. And last, before I do any welds, take a stainless steel brush with aluminum. That's absolutely necessary. And when you do it, you clean it, get that surface real good with that aluminum brush. What it does, it breaks up that surface layer, and it allows that weld to stick a lot quicker and a lot easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish doing that. And last thing you gotta do is clean the weld where you're getting ready to weld. And what I use is denatured alcohol. You can use, some people use acetone. I like the denatured alcohol because it leaves it perfectly clean and it dries really, really quick. All right, let's get this thing fixed. All right, so here we go. We've got that nice and clean. I just got done grinding the back side of it. There's a rule of thumb, they tell you not to go back side to side, but the problem is I'm trying to get the inside of that hole, so I'm gonna go side to side, and then I'll try to get the rest of it off with the alcohol. You can see how it's getting nice and shiny. What that's doing is it's breaking that surface layer. So that way the weld should stick a whole lot easier and a whole lot quicker. All right, we got that part done. Now I'll wipe it down with some denatured alcohol. And that gets rid of all the dust and gets it ready to take the weld. All right, there's the before. Let's weld it up. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing welded up. Got everything prepped, got it cleaned. Got our welding stick here. We'll cut this off. Alright, what I'm using is 3/32 aluminum. I'm using a 3/32 tungsten. I got it on pulse mig, got it set on about 120 amps AC. Alright, I had to build that up a little bit more than I wanted to because it started sinking, so I had to fill it back in. But I think we're going to be good once we grind that one out. Let's go ahead and try to do this one on the side here. Normally I want to keep it flat, but oh well, we'll give it a shot. There we go. That wasn't horrible. Could have done a little better. We'll go ahead and get that ground down and we'll see what she looks like. So here's what we got. This one here, I've already sanded it down. I haven't run across it with the vibrating sander yet, but I want to show you what it would look like when you weld it up. So it's kind of got like a reverse crater, let's say. It's got a little bit of a hump. I've done that on purpose. I wanted to add a little extra material to it, so after I filled the hole, I kind of made the hole a lot bigger with molten aluminum and got me a nice big thick plug right there. And what I'll do is I'll grind that down and then I'll get a surface about like that. And then once I hit this with the vibrating sander, it'll look just like that for the most part. Alright, let me go ahead and grind that one down. Next to the edge. With it being real close to the edge, I'm trying not to grind on this corner at all. There we go. And that's how you fix those holes. You'll never know they were ever there when I get done painting this. I found a few more small spots that were pitted. I went ahead and drilled them out. I'll go ahead and clean the back and we'll do the same thing here. That way you can see what the whole thing will look when it's finished up. Okay, all the holes have been filled. I've done the basic sanding on it right now. I'll get me a little bit finer sandpaper and clean it up the rest of the way and go and get it put back on. My intention is to paint it anyway, so right now it's really good enough. Save me having to make a new one. I hope that you got something out of this video, and I hope you've seen that it ain't that hard to save this. Now I know if you don't have a TIG welder, it'd be a whole lot harder to fix these, but if you can take it to a place that does welding, if you get it all cleaned up and prepped for them, a lot of times they won't charge you a whole lot to do it. And I'm gonna tell you, I'd rather pay a welder 50 to 100 bucks to go ahead and weld up any holes I had than to try to make a new one. So, thank you as always for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. That right there is going to look like brand new when I get it on the boat and I get it all painted up. Thank you.